points. One is support and resistance, and second thing is that buying and selling of pairs, you know.
Definitely. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me start with a very basic foundation. I hope I remember that I have covered this already, but let me just again recall this because it is important for you to understand this, because most of the times we as a trader, we are facing that issue that what is a high value area. Okay, we have seen that all time I talk about the high value areas means that is the area which you have to look for. There is a supply zone, there is a buying zone. Why I am saying that? So understand things, it is very important that whenever I was explaining about the price action structures, okay, I remember that I was explaining about this price action structure. Okay, so understand things. If I just take the price action of this price action structures, and it is very easy to understand on this, that what is the definition of high value area. First of all, the definition of high value area means the area from where the supply getting involved in a market, or the area from where demand getting involved in a market. Okay, if we are trading this for the long side, if we are looking for the trend is a down, okay, and there's a support level, and what we expect from that level, we are expecting that the price will move to the upside. So this is what to call the high value area. Okay, this will be called the high value area from where the demand getting involved in a market. Okay, if we are talking about the downside movement, okay, so the up area, the top of the structure, which we call the high value area of the structure. Okay, so by definition, what is the means of high value area? High value area is an area from where the demand and the supply getting involved in a market. Okay, high value area is an area from where the demand and supply getting involved in a market. How do you have to identify this? You have to identify this by using the theories behind the structure. Okay, if you look at this, this is a euro USD. Okay, if I just take example of this price action structure, okay, understand things, what is the high value area for me currently. Okay, if I just talk about this, this is the high value area for which I'm looking for. Why? Because the repetition in a price action structure, and this price action structure is what, this is what called the broadening pattern. Okay, what is the means of broadening pattern? Let me just remind you the theory behind that again, is that whenever we are making the broadening pattern, we are making the higher highs and lower lows. You can see previous low, this is what the again new low. So the theory behind the broadening pattern is what, we are making the higher highs and we are making the lower lows structure. Okay, and as a trader, we have to identify, we always have to identify the new high value areas by which we can trade for. Okay, if I just take this as this will be double top pattern. But if you look at this as a entire structure, you will see that this is a area which we can look for, and this is what called the high value area. Okay, in every price action structure, we have to understand that there's a high value area by which we have to look for, and from where we have to trade for. Okay, so what I'm expecting right now in euro USD, I'm expecting that the price will move up. Okay, it will form any kind of reversal pattern at the top. Okay, then it will have a very good confirmation by which we are getting involved in a market. This is what the impulse correction continuation. So this is for me the high value area. Okay, if I just back to the chart pattern, you will see that this is what the POI have denoted. What this means of POI? POI means point of interest, and point of interest is a high value area which I denote this POI. Okay, so whenever I am trading in a market, you know, I'm not planning to sell this from this level. If the price will move down from this level, I'm not going to sell this until I will get a confirmation, I will get a clear move that yeah, this is an impulsive move. If it is forming correction, let's just get involved in that for the short. I always remind you, this POI will always remind me that this is a level which is needed to be reached first, then I will look for the short. So this, as a trader, we always use the indicators, we are always use a point of interest to identify ourselves, to know ourselves that this is the area which we are aiming for, and until the price will come into that, otherwise we are not going to trade this. So this is why I'm using this POI for the interest, for the my mind have a wired that this is a level that I'm looking for. If the price will reach up to that level, I will trade, otherwise I will keep away from this trade. I'm looking for these kinds of structure. I'm definitely looking for these kinds of structures to trade in a market. Maybe there's a higher possibility it will reach up to that level. This is what we can take a risk entry setup. If we're looking for reduced risk entry setup, we can take entry after the impulse correction continuation. So this is what talking about. Understand what is the means of high value area. High value area is an area from where the supply getting involved in a market or the demand getting involved in a market. If I was trading for the lows, means from that level, this was a level which is called the high value area from which I will look for the buy. And this is not the level I miss. It was just a level from where we get involved. We have to look for the higher time frame structure. Okay, why I'm calling this as a high value area? It is a reason behind that, because if you look at this previously, okay, if you look at this previously, this is a previous important support level. Okay, let me show you this in a weekly time frame. Understand this, it is very very easy. This is a weekly time frame. We got an impulsive move, we got a rejection, but this is a maximum level from where the price retraced it. Okay, but again it moved up, so we can say that this is the important support level, because after moving down into these candles to massive move down for the round side, we get a very good impulsive move. Okay, and that is what calling that this is very important support level. This is a level from where demand getting involved in a market, so we use this as a reference. And then we will back to the time frame. You can see the mesh psychology, which I always talk about, that most of the traders losing money at this point of time. Why? Because they have a simple thing that in a market they think that the price, whenever the price break the support level, they have to sell. Whenever the price break the resistance level, they have to buy. But this is not how the forex market work. This is not how the market work on basis of psychology. Market does not give you a to make money like any like without making efforts, without teaching you. It is very very important that you have to understand the psychologies which is working in the market, and this is what we have learned. This is what the smash psychology, that whenever most of the traders thinking what this is a support level, this level is a support, it is break, let's sell. But this is not how the structure is working in a market. Okay, we can see that this is now high value area. This is now the level of entries we can look for. How we have to getting involved? Either we will take a risk entry, okay, or we will take a reduced risk entry. Risk entry means what? We exact getting involved from the market from the POI, because we get a rejection from here. Okay, we either get involved from the means POI, or we wait for the confirmations can be anything which is a continuation patterns. And I always, most of the times I look for impulse action continuation is a continuation, because the repetition in a price action is simply impulse correction continuation. Okay, if you look at this, if I just talk about this, you can see impulse, it was correction, again moved on for the continuation. So you have to look at the repetition. Understand this is the repetition in a price action pattern. Okay, and for this you have to definitely search for the history will always give you the better decision towards how these structures behave in a high value areas and how you can trade this. You can see impulse correction continuation, very very simple price action pattern. Okay, so these are the structures I'm talking about. Okay, this is what the high value area definition in this pattern, this broadening pattern. Understand this, the third touch of the pattern, this is the first touch, this is the second touch, and this is the third touch. Third touch of the patterns will be always called as a high value area, because we can see that two times it was rejected from. You can see this two first time, this is the second time, and the probability of that is that the price will move up, it will again retest the structure entirely, and then it will move down. And this is what happening again and again happening. If I just tell you about the if I show you the same structure, you can see, let me show you the same structure in NZD-JPY. You can see this is the same structure we had traded in NZD-JPY. The first touch, this was the second touch, this was the third touch of the pattern. You can see the mesh psychology again played. I hope you both understand what is the mesh psychology, buying at the top and selling at the low. Understand this, how beautifully the mesh psychology played in a market. After playing mesh psychology, price completely moved back to the structure, again retested, again move back to the structure, and this is what I'm projecting for. I'm looking up to that level, that it will reach up to that before we move to the upside again. This is what I'm looking for. And if you just see the repetition in a pattern, it is same. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, that price action structure will always repeat itself, not by candle but by the structure. And as a trader, we have always have to look for the structures which we are trading the market. Okay, this is very very important thing. Okay, so this was what I have to discuss with you about the high value structures, and I hope you understand this. And yeah, that was I have to discuss. Thank you. Now let's move forward towards another thing. Okay, let's talk about the another structure and the definition and the high value area of another structure. I remember I have discussed with you, but now again I'm recalling this again just because it is very very important. Sometimes it is confusing. You can see the mesh psychology, how it was played. Most of the times, more very often we see these kinds of psychologies playing in a market, and you have to be habitual with that. Whenever you are doing forecasting, you have to forecast by by making your mindset as a default that there's a higher possibility it will play mass psychology. Okay, whenever we are trading in a market, we have to always forecast that mass psychology is a probability which is 90% of the time work in a high value area, and we have to project that. Okay, so this is the structure. You can see this is a double top pattern. I hope you understand the double top means. I hope you understand that what is the definition of between price action structure. But let me just again recall it. Okay, what is a double top definition? Double top is a price action structure which is saying that this is what the high value area. Okay, whenever we are trading the high double top pattern, we are trading that this is a level from where the demand or the supply getting involved. This is a level from where the supply getting involved if the trend is up. If the previous trend is up, this is a level from where the supply getting involved, because previously it was from that level the price moved down entirely. And same thing we can expect over here, because this is what the double top pattern is. So the definition behind the double top pattern is what? This is what the definition, that whenever we are trading the double top patterns, this is a high value area. Okay, this is a POI for me, point of interest. But you always understand that I uh, take trade only on the basis of confirmations. Okay, you can see this impulsive closing. Let me just make it clear. Okay, this impulsive closing, most of the traders lose money at this point of time. High value area is a area from where you have to have a very good amount of patience, because it requires lot. Okay, if you look at this is a daily time, this is a 4 hourly time frame. Sorry, this is a 1 hour time frame. The price moved up, it closed above that, it was retested above that, but still I was believing that it will move down. This moved down. Okay, this is an indication. Did you get a confirmation? No. You can see how it was behaving, and I'm still not get a confirmation, so I'm not in that trade. But I'm looking for this to complete move down. I'm looking for any continuation patterns which can help me to getting involved. You can see how the mess in a price action structure is. I'm looking for very solid continuation patterns. It can be anything. It can be like miss these kinds of head and shoulder. Okay, it can be anything like inverse head and shoulder pattern, or then I will get an entry for the short. So understand things in a high value area. First of all, we have to identify the high value areas. Then we have to identify the levels by which we can get involved, and this is what you will get. Understand that it requires lots of patience. Okay, what I'm looking for any kind of continuation patterns by which I will get confirmations to trade for the short. Otherwise I will not. I know that this is a movement, it is remaining, but if I will miss, do not think about that. Let just enter without a stop loss, and it will just come back and hit my stop loss. This is not going to work for me. I will always wait for the confirmation. Either I will look for this move to capitalize or not. If I will get confirmations to getting involved, I will trade. Otherwise I will not. Simple. Okay, you have to have a commitment in your trading. Okay, so this is what the high value area means, the story behind the high value area in euro odd. Support and resistance means what? Support and resistance is also we can call it as a high value area, because what we project from the high value areas, we project means reversal. In support and resistance, we also project the same thing. We are projecting the reversal from that level. Okay, so this is what the definition is. Let me just talk about this price action pattern. Okay, this is a very simple price action pattern in USD means currently USD CAD. You can see USD CAD is also moving in a 3-touch pattern. Okay, what is the first POI for me? This is the first POI for me. This is the first point of interest for me. How I will use this point of interest? This is how. Okay, and this is again I will write down. Yeah, so I understand that I do not have to sell, because why? Because this is a POI. This is a higher possibility that the price will reach up to that level. First, why I'm saying this is a POI? Because if I just delete this will become the double top pattern. Okay, but why I'm saying that? Because the previous level is also very important. If you just look at this was the double top pattern which was played. There's a higher possibility it will play a triple top pattern, and then it will move down. So first POI for me is that. Okay, if I will get a confirmation from that level, I will definitely sell this from that level. Otherwise I will hold. I will look for the levels which is currently it is making. Okay, so it is very important that you have to have a commitment like what? How you are getting involved in that trades. Okay, so if you are looking this as a previous pattern, this is a first structure. Okay, if you do not look at this and you look at this current pattern, this is a current pattern. If you look at this, how this is working. This is the third structure. So this is the first POI for me. This is the second POI for me. Why? Because I'm looking for the current price action structure. Understand things. If you wanted to write down this. Because why? Because in price action trading, we always have to trade on the basis of current price action structures. Let me repeat it. In price action trading, we have to always trade on the basis of current price action structures, what it is making on in a market. Okay, we have to forecast on the basis of current price action structures. We have to forecast, we have to backtest on the basis of current price action structures. We are using history or the previous structures is just a reference, but market conditions always change, so that we have to use the current price action structures to trade. Okay, again understand, we have to always trade the current price action structures which is coming into the market, which is working in a market. Okay guys, this is very very important insight which you have to focus on. Okay, now if I just talk about this, you can see this is a level, you can call it as a support level. Why? Because the price moved up, it was rejected, but it again moved up. Okay, you can see this is a support level. Why? Because this was a previous level which was not breaking, it was breaked, moved up, it back to the structure, retested the support level, again moved up. Okay, you can put it down right now at this level. This is a support level, price will reach up to that, and then again it will move up. So support and resistance, like what? Support and resistance is just a behavior of the market. Okay, whenever you are getting rejection, you have to just continue, you have to just denote this, that this is a level, this is the level from where the supplying coming into the market. Okay, this is the level from where demand emerging in a market. So this is what the simple reason behind the support and resistance, and this is how you have to use. And very often, if I tell you, you do not have to use the support and resistance, you just have to use the current price action structures and how it is behaving. Okay, that is simple. Okay, let's move forward into the another USD CHF. This is my main watch. Although I'm looking for this to trade, I'm looking for any kind of means entry. This is, I was forecasted in this morning that I'm going to trade this for the long after breaking that level, but it moved down. Fortunately, I was not into that trade, but okay, I'm still waiting for the confirmations. I'm looking for a good correction. You can see the correction is right now is very very good. This was a previous structure, it was moving on. Okay, if I just take this entirely, this is a current price action structure, this is a level I'm looking for. You can see POI. What is a POI? This is very very important. The importance of POI is very very high in a market, and this is what you will gain only after having some level of consistency on our structures. Okay, it is very very important. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for any kind of good confirmations which can allow me to getting involved in that trade, so that I can capitalize the entire move which is remaining to come. You can see it is very very clear structure. We are just moved up impulsively, it is forming correction, and once it will break the correction structure, there's a higher possibility we can get these kinds of moves, we can get these kinds of move in a market. Okay, it is very very easy. You have to understand that what is the behavior it was repeating again and again. Market price action structures trading, again repeating the structures which you have to trade. And this is what the history, you have to work, you have to put yourself into the work, into the mode of flow where you can see these structures. You can see, if I just repeat this, you can see this like same. You can see it moved up impulsively, it is forming correction, move down, it is moved down impulsively, it is forming correction, move down, then again it will move up, again it will move up, and it will hit my target. And this is what the projection is, this is what